crunch them straight away. Do you know nothing about eating hula hoops?
Put them on your fingers.
Firstly, you do that.
Yeah.
You shuttle them.
Right, this is great podcasting.
Get the flavour out.
Right. These hula hoops don't fit my fingers.
Fine. So they don't fit your finger.
Oh, they fit my little finger.
Yeah.
Right.
So you suck them. Get all the flavour.
Suck a hula hoop.
Yeah. And then you slowly chew it like that, and then you chew the bits.
So you like become a rodent.
Exactly.
Right.
Become a numpty.
Hi and welcome to Hotspur Way, episode 4. We've had 4 episodes.
We've had 4, and it's feeling like it's 5.
Is it?
No.
Right, okay. So this is the weekly podcast that comes to you every month. And in the time that we've been away, we've played the Arse,
Yes.
Dortmund, and we've had some crackers. Well, I'm just going in order.
You've got the order there.
Yeah, of course,
okay.
yeah. West Brom, Leicester, Watford, Aberwell, and Stoke.
Yes.
Right, now I didn't want to talk about the Arsenal game because
I don't
want to rip off that plaster because it's sort of still there.
Well, let's put it in context. It's not just the Arsenal game.
Isn't
we
it?
went through a bad patch. There was the Arsenal game.
Aren't we still going through it?
Leicester. There was the West Brom. There was a few games that are worrying, and I'll explain why in a minute, because of the way it happened. The Arse game, I don't have an issue with. Basically, Wenger just outplayed us. He played tactically exactly the right game to put the pressure on the makeshift defence that we had.
For me, I think that, and there you go. See, I'm saying I think again.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like Poch had forgotten to tell the players it was a derby game.
No.
You thought that it was. You thought it looked like we were playing in a North London derby.
I think
when
if
we were watching
you
the
looked
same
at the game from the very first 5 minutes, they would not let our back players get rid of the ball. They were on them like a rash. They couldn't turn. They were losing it. They didn't have the composure to get the ball out, and that's what happened all the way through the game.
But that's my point, though. My point is
that's
that
got nothing to do with it being if
they
you've
were
got
more
a
up for
player
it.
up your arse.
Yeah, but they were more up for it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, but that's because they played tactically. They started on the right foot. Our players didn't start on the right foot, and it's happened since that game. The same thing.
Okay, we beat Dortmund, but
Yeah.
I suppose
That was a nothing game, really.
yeah. West Brom was terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. We don't want to really go on into analysing each game because we want to bore the listener. Leicester, what a goal from Vardy. What a volley.
Granted, but again, Leicester did what Arsenal did to us.
Yeah, they did.
See, this is what's my main reason I mentioned it before is because I noticed again on this weekend's game.
What, Stoke?
Yeah. The difference. We went to a back four, a flat back four. Alright, Stoke were not pressuring us, but they looked a lot more comfortable, more reassured, and confident when they were receiving the ball from the keeper and getting rid of it. They learnt that we don't have to keep holding it and passing it between ourselves. We can just lump it up there and somebody's going to get onto the end of it as well. They had more room to manoeuvre and move themselves, the 4 defenders, and we were still getting forward with the 2 fullbacks. So when we don't have Alderweireld and we can't play Alderweireld, Vertonghen and Sanchez, then we've got to go to the back 4. But we didn't. We persisted in those previous games with the back 5, putting Sanchez and Dyer in there, and I think that's a mistake. It just, for some reason, those 2 players, brilliant as they are, just do not gel. They want to take too long on the ball when they're playing in that back 5.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to have that problem now because Vertonghen, if he gets a booking tonight. So just to let all of you know, we're recording before the Brighton game. Stamadi's house, we just had a delicious curry and a bit of schnitzel.
Yes, very
Your
nice.
schnitzel,
To die
even though it was flat, was tasty.
Schnitzels are flat.
I know, but I was trying to. There's a bit of a euphemism in there, but never mind.
Okay, yeah.
And if Vertonghen gets a booking,
Yeah.
then he's banned for the City game, where without Sanchez, we're without Toby. We're going to play the kid Foyth. 'Cause he looks like he's doing his A levels.
Yeah. But he looked very assured in that game
Against Applewell.
against Applewell. But again,
I would look assured.
well, I don't think so. They're not that bad.
Maybe
Applewell.
not. Yeah.
Lefties was giving us some trouble. All right, their striker. Was
How do you even know their players?
That's the only one I know.
What's his name?
Aloneftis.
Aloneftis.
Cypriot international.
Wasn't he from 10 years ago?
Yeah, he's still playing by Bayern. He was the only one who caused us troubles again in Cyprus as well.
Really?
Do you remember?
No, I couldn't get a ticket, remember?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
No,
And then the TV went off, so I just fell asleep on the couch, sulking. Never got
Anyhow, as you're saying, Vertonghen, if he goes, we're going to be in big trouble. But that's why I think he's
We'll talk about City
looking
though.
at getting, what's his name back, isn't he? Carter Vickers. There's talk of him stopping the loan.
About Carter Vickers, I've got a bit of a problem with him. I've got quite a few Sheffield United fans, and they cannot stand him. They say he's a liability, and they don't want him at their club. In fact, one of them did text me and said, we want him out of our club.
Really?
So if we want him back, and these are proper football fans that know their football, and they said he cannot cut it here. We don't think that he can go there. But then again, Kane went off to like 7 or 8 loans, didn't he? And a lot of their fans were saying the same thing at the time.
And when he's played for us, we have seen glimpses of good player, and also the opposite. That he can get caught out, he can be a bit rash, he does dive into his tackles and not concentrate for 90 minutes and so on. So we have seen that. And perhaps maybe it's because he's playing for somebody like Sheffield. He thinks, well,
he's playing up north as well. He wants to play up there.
Exactly. It's probably,
Just make sure Louise doesn't hear this. So, Watford, we were basically kicked off the park. It was quite diabolical. And I think that sort of came in the week, or just a few days later, there was a Clattenburg announcement, which I do want to talk about. Okay. But let's just talk about Watford quickly, because what they did, what Marco Silva did, and I do rate him as a manager, is they basically said, right, we're going to boss them, we're going to kick them around. And that's exactly what they did. And we fell for it. We couldn't get into second or third gear. I don't think so anyway.
Well, it's a bit difficult when you're flying through the air to try and get into second gear. I mean, the tackles that were put on Kane in that game were diabolical.
Yeah.
They'd have been out in the roads. They'd have been arrested and done for GBH.
Yeah.
It's the worst game I've seen against us, apart from Stokes' central midfielder when he took out Bale. What was his name? Not Adams.
What are you talking about?
The one who plays for Stoke. He plays in midfield.
Charlie Adam.
Charlie Adam.
Yeah, but he's it's his pastime kicking Spurs
I know.
players.
It was like having 11 Charlie Adams playing against us.
It was quite ridiculous.
Game. It was appalling, and the referee was so weak. He just let things go. I mean, that referee should have been reviewed after that game, and they should have sort of pointed out that, look, we don't want to see this in the game.
But I couldn't understand what was happening every time. So after the third or fourth time, I thought, hold on a minute, isn't the ref going to do something? And he didn't. And I counted 7. 7, what I thought, one of them was definitely a red. That you should have at least 7 yellows. And they didn't, that wasn't coming.
A positive, we didn't react like we did against Chelsea 2 seasons ago.
So,
with
2 seasons
trying to poke somebody's
well,
eyes
okay,
out.
I personally loved what I was seeing that night.
I know, but I'm saying at least we didn't react in that way, because it could have ended up that it'd have been playing 9v9. Honestly, it could have got to
maybe, but
we
know
were
what?
a lot more composed, and we allowed them to just play, and we just tried to play our own game. With Chelsea, I think we went just a little over the top, and that was once we conceded the first goal, it was worse, and then it just fell apart after that.
So I want to read out what Clattenburg said. He said, many referees decide they don't want to be the centre of attention, But if I'd have sent off 3 Tottenham players, the whole world would have blamed Mark Clattenburg for costing Tottenham the title. If he didn't want to be the centre of attention, why is he now coming out with it? Because this makes him the centre of attention.
I think it was you've got to take it in context. I think it was an interview he was doing and somebody actually...
But that's his excuse that I know he's taken out of context.
No, straight out asked him. And
but
that's
straight out asked him what?
He straight out asked him the question, what happened with that Tottenham-Chelsea game? Why didn't you send off the Tottenham players and that? And he just replied saying, well, if I'd have done so, this and that would have happened. I'd have been the centre of attention. So he wanted to play the game. Now, I don't think if it's a negative at all, really, because had he said, I should have sent them off, then Tottenham would have lost the title anyway. What was the big deal? I mean, I don't get it.
Yeah, but he goes on to...
What's the big deal about all of
Okay, so he goes on to say, but I don't regret what I did in that match. I thoroughly enjoyed the match. I came off the pitch knowing that I hadn't influenced the result.
Yeah.
And that was the most important thing.
Exactly.
If you're a neutral... Hold on a minute. If you're a neutral, we were up 2-0. We were kicking them left, right and centre. There was a chance that we could have gone on to win 2-0. Yes, okay. If he had actually started to send off players, well, I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
But if he had sent off players, then he would have. Well, let's say it wouldn't have finished 2-0. Okay, it went to 2-2 in the end. Actually, what am I trying to say? What I'm actually trying to say, yeah, I know you're shaking your head. What I'm trying to say is that he did influence the match because we were up 2-0, and if Chelsea weren't coming back in the game, and we had 11 players on, we should have had 9. Then they would have come back into the game. Okay, they did in the end anyway, but let's just in this hypothetical universe pretend they didn't. That's influencing the game.
He would have influenced the game even more so, though. That's if you don't know in hindsight what would happen. You don't know in hindsight that Chelsea would come back and make it 2-2. But at the time, it was an enjoyable game for the neutral. Not for a Spurs fan, maybe not for a Chelsea fan.
I don't know, I loved it.
Yeah, I'm saying. But it wasn't enjoyable for me at the end, put it that way. And that was because we lost our rag. Had he sent somebody off, yes, maybe they would have calmed down and we would have tried to defend it with 10 men and maybe got through it and without losing it. But he just wants the game to carry on playing. There wasn't anything. There were some tackles, yes, would be normally a red card, but there wasn't anything like you could say it would do definite red card.
So would you say it's out of order if a referee goes into a game with an agenda?
He didn't. Did he go in with? He didn't say he went in with an agenda.
Really?
He said,
really? I'll read you this. I went in with a game plan. His words.
What was the game plan?
That he didn't want Tottenham blaming Mark Clattenburg that they were going to lose the title. So he wasn't going to be he wasn't going to basically put the rules into play or the laws into play. He wasn't going to call upon those laws which are there to protect players, number one, which are there to make sure that the game is played properly. He went in with a game plan.
Right.
How many times have we watched football and you can clearly see, especially in a derby, where the ref basically someone goes in, studs first, knee height, and he goes up to him and it's like, no, one more of them and you're off. I beg your pardon. If that had happened on 75 minutes, he'd be off.
Yeah.
This is a game plan, and I keep saying it, and it's really starting to annoy me.
Okay.
That
I didn't know he'd said that. Firstly, that he said that he went in with a game plan.
It was entrapment. I knew you were going down that path.
All right, well done, mate. Very well done. Okay. Anyhow,
can I have a hula hoop?
Yeah, of course you can.
Cheers. I put it on my little finger, like you said.
That's it. Yeah, little finger. And then put it in your mouth.
Put it in my mouth.
Suck all the flavour out of it.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
It's like sucking a not so cube.
That's right. And then you leave it for a little bit until it goes a little bit soft, and then you crack it. You crunch it once, and then you chew those little bits as they get softer. It almost melts in your mouth. Anyway, there you go. My theory on how to eat hula hoop. Going back to what we were talking about. Yeah, I didn't know he'd said that about game plan, which now makes it look slightly different now. But overall, I mean, it's history now. Anyhow,
it gets worse. I'll read you some more comments.
Well, I think it's history. Why are we bothering about it?
Because this is the guy
he's retired now.
Apparently he's in Saudi Arabia, head of referees. So
yeah, but he's retired.
This is the guy that in 2005, Pedro Mendes scored from the halfway line, and he did score.
Yeah.
And he didn't give it.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone saw it. I was sat in Nicosia. I saw it.
Yep.
It went over.
History.
Okay. And from then I've not.
History.
I couldn't stand him. And then he comes out with this gem.
History.
It was pure theatre that Tottenham self-destructed against Chelsea and Leicester won the title. I can imagine him smiling when he says that. Yes, they were like 7 or 8 points clear ahead of us before, then they probably would have won the title. Of course.
Yeah.
They would have anyhow. But why are refs doing this? He just needs to shut up. In fact, I hope FIFA go after him. That would actually be hilarious.
I can't see them doing that. He's now a civilian almost compared in Premier League terms.
Well, he's not. No, the Premier League can't go after him, but
No,
FIFA should.
So, FIFA, well, even that, I don't think they can say anything because he's not really said anything. Not really said anything that he could be getting for. You know, I mean, I'm sure there's enough referees who go in with an agenda or saying, look, I just want to keep a clean game. I don't want to get players sent off. I want a nice open game. I'm sure they're all doing that, but he's just vocalised it.
I suppose so. So the next game then, if we're going through the Spurs fixtures, we had Apoel, which was an okay game.
Good game in the park.
I did like Llorente's goal.
Yes, very well taken.
Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember Klinsmann in the 1994 World Cup against? I can't remember who it was against.
Yeah.
It was when we signed him.
Wasn't it back post?
No. It's basically the goal that Klinsmann scored.
Yeah.
The ball came to him in the 6-yard area. He flicked it up with the 1 foot, spun, and then half volleyed it. Do you not remember that?
Yes,
and that's when I thought, wow, this is a striker. And then we signed him a few weeks later.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
euphoria.
But was it the game before or the game after? Right in front of goal. I think it was the West Brom game, was it, when he came on, or was it the one after that?
Oh, when he missed it, basically, he was put on through.
Literally 2 yards in front of the goal, and not the 1-on-1, when he was 2 yards in front, and he just poked it wide.
Mm.
And also, then there was the 1-on-1 where he looked like he was one of these. He was on stilts, running down towards the goal.
It did look like he was wearing stilettos, didn't it?
Yeah, and he was going to fall over at any second, and then I don't know what he tried to do. Did he try to pass it over the keeper, pass it under the keeper?
I don't know.
Just toe poke it, see what happens?
He did come out and say that he is a confidence player. I don't know if you've got membership at Spurs, haven't you? So you get to watch Spurs TV. And if you saw the interview with him, he did say that his confidence was just absolutely shot.
Yeah.
Completely shot. And he said it himself. And I like that. I like that when players come out and actually say, you know what, this is how it is.
A lot of footballers are like that. I would say 90% of all footballers need to be confident to be able to play well.
Yeah, and he's definitely one of them. But he actually came out and said it. And you could see that the relief when he was being interviewed on his face after that game.
Well, all right, if we're going to talk about that, what about Dele Alli? I believe his confidence is so low. Also, I do believe that the opposition have worked him out. They'll stick 2 players on him and just let him do what he wants to do. And they know he's either going to lose it, he's going to pass it somewhere not to feet or something like that. And I think his confidence currently is completely shot. When he comes out with statements like, if I have too much time to think about it, well, then as soon as you say that, it's obviously proving that he's not feeling confident. And I think I don't know what we need to do with him. I don't believe it's to do with his agents and being tapped up by Real.
I can tell you what it's about.
I have no idea.
I can tell you what it's about.
What is it then?
You've been 21. All right, it was about 170 years ago, but you were 21
Yeah.
once upon a time. He's 21. Okay, he's probably at that point where he's got this new girlfriend, or maybe he's broken up. He's got everything that he wants. He's maybe feeling right now that he's made it, and you don't know what's going through his mind. Footballers are human beings.
So you don't know what he's got.
All I'm trying to tell you is that whatever he has, of course I'm assuming.
Because there's so many other 21-year-olds, doesn't affect. Kane didn't go through that.
Kane did go through that, of course he
did. Not like this.
But he's still got 3 or 4. How many goals has he got? 4 or 5 goals? He's got.
How many?
I understand.
Last weekend's game, he made 1 pass for the goal, and that was it. I deliberately tried to keep an eye on him. He was giving the ball away. He was trying things to try and get him out of this slump, and it was just not there. He was making passes that were ridiculous, and he was just either knocking it straight off the pitch or passing it straight to one of their players. In the previous game, didn't he lose the ball? We conceded the goal.
Yeah.
he's just. And as I said, I believe also that other teams have worked him out. They're either getting very close to him so that he can't do his little trickery. He keeps trying to do the flicks to get out of that. He keeps going down. Referees aren't buying it anymore. So I don't know how he can turn it around. I hope he can, because we need him back. But on the positive side, though, we've got Lamela back.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, it's like a new signing.
It is like a new signing. You said it at one of the first.
I know he's only played a few minutes, but in his very first game back, he set up a goal. And even this weekend, how many chances? He could have even got 2 goals in that as well. He actually did hit the post, didn't it? Oh no, the goalkeeper saved it before it hit the post. So, and it was another one when he ran through as well, and just missed it by millimetres again. He's a new signing. And I personally believe that tonight, Ali should be dropped, Lamela should be put in.
Well, we've got the big game on Saturday, haven't we? Saturday evening. With Lamela, what he does is he starts the Poch press.
Yes.
He's the first player that does it.
Yes.
And he's so effective at doing it. He's like a little gremlin, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He's nipping at their heels. How many bookings did he get in that first season under Poch?
And if you notice, when he does give away free kicks, he's doing it in their half.
Oh, they're always calculated.
It's not like Sissoko.
Well, he's Argentinian, isn't he? He knows what he's doing.
It's not like Sissoko, who doesn't even know where he is on the pitch when he gives.
He doesn't know he's on this planet, does he?
Exactly.
But it's calculated. He's Argentinian, as I said. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I really hope that he starts today. I think he will. We've probably got team news, probably.
And
the match starts in 53 minutes. So
yeah, I'd like to see Ali dropped.
You want to see him dropped?
I want to see him dropped because I want to accommodate Lamela firstly. And I want to see what happens in the next. And I also think he should be dropped for the City game.
Really?
I think it'd be a liability in the City game. If he's going to play like he has been playing and he's giving the ball away like he has been, he's going to be a liability in the City game. And a potential, I think they could rile him and get him sent off. Because he's at that low ebb in his confidence that it could happen. I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing him dropped. And I see if he gets dropped for 2 games, and especially something like the Man City game, maybe that'll put turn a light on somewhere, and he's going to change the way he's been playing.
Okay, so the lineup for tonight is Lamela in for Ali. Well done.
Excuse me and Pochettino. I have a direct line to him.
Do you?
No.
Is it your schnitzel?
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Lloris, Aurier, Dyer.
Oh no, not Aurier.
Oh come on.
He's not proven himself to me. Sorry yet.
Yeah, he needs a pre-season. Vertonghen, Rose, Winks, Sissoko, God, Lamela, Gray, Ericsson, Son, and Kane.
Who's after Lamela? You said.
Ericsson, Son, and Kane. And on the bench we've got Vorm, Davies, Foyth, Trippier, Dembele, Dele, and Llorente.
Going to Delhi now. Oh, sorry, Dembele.
Yeah.
When he came back from his injury, I thought, oh my God, what is he doing?
I don't think he was fully fit though.
Yeah, he wasn't fully fit, and he tries to do that. Always trying to overdo things.
Yeah.
Last weekend's game, blinder.
I think he's back to fitness.
Yeah.
And I've got this feeling that he can only play one game a week.
Yeah, and I think he's got a tendency to want to hold on to the ball too long and do too much. Although what I did like to see this weekend was he tried a couple of shots at least. I haven't seen that from him for a while.
He does need to be scoring more goals though, doesn't he?
The guy is so talented. He used to play as a striker as well.
Yeah, he was a number 10.
And he can't even decide to shoot when he's got so much space in front of him. Even if he shoots, and that would get Dele Alli more goals because he follows up.
I did hear this interview actually with the Moose, and what he said that when he was where was he? He was at I can't remember which club he was at. They used to the Belgian team. I can't remember which one it was, but they used to train up until I think under 12s. Then they used to play with goals, and so the whole point of the game was to take the ball from one end to the other, without losing it. And it looks like he's still playing that under 12 game. You can see it in him because it's like he just wants to take it and no one can get the ball off him, and they can't. It's really difficult trying to get the ball off him.
Yeah.
So what do you think about tonight then? Before we touch on the Stoke game, let's just have some predictions for tonight.
Tonight,
we're playing at Wembley.
Yeah, I know, and we're playing our old hero Chris Hughton's team. I believe it's going to be about 3-4 maybe. The Stoke kind of
You
result.
think so?
Yeah.
You don't think that
Brighton are on a
you don't
bad-
think
bad
Houghton's
run.
going to bring his team and park the bus at Wembley?
No, Brighton are on a bad run. Didn't Stoke try to park the bus? And they didn't manage it.
No, I don't think Stoke tried to do anything.
Well, that's true, yeah. Stoke were just unbelievably poor.
They
But
made us look good, by the way. Just like West Ham made us look good when they beat us 3-2.
I think we've learnt now, we're starting to learn, I should say, how to break teams down at Wembley.
I disagree.
Why?
I don't think we have the pace, and we're missing a few players.
I don't think so. We did it with Abuel. We did it with Stoke.
You can't use Apoel as a
I know
barometer.
I can't. But
Just because we're in
they're
Cyprus.
But they're indications
Indications of what?
of how the team can adapt their play. So are we playing with a flat back four again?
Let's see. What are we playing? Well, the team...
You said it was Aurier, Dyer,
So Aurier,
Vertonghen,
Dyer,
Rose.
Vertonghen. We're playing with the flat back four.
Flat back four again. Therefore, we're going to have more men in the midfield. They're going to be able to get more men wide. And I'm telling you that it's going to be about 4 or maybe 3 or 4.
So you said that we've learned how to break teams down at Wembley.
No, not learned, but we've found a way of doing it now.
11 days
After the
before
last game.
Apoel, we played West Brom with the Ginger Mourinho, Megson. We could not break through. We could not
I
break
agree.
through there. We played Leicester.
And
We
who
couldn't
did-
really.
Leicester was away, firstly.
Well, we beat them 6-1 last season. What's that got?
but still.
Just a few months ago. Okay, I don't see that as an issue.
I'm saying that was 2 games previously. But
No, I don't think we're there.
But we weren't playing with a back four.
No, it's not the formation.
It does.
It's not the
makes
formation.
a big difference.
You know,
You've got an extra man in midfield.
okay. There's a question that Jose from work has asked, and I want to pose it now. We're going to do it for later, but I want to pose it now. And I'm sorry, I'm
Okay.
springing this onto you now. He says, "Do you think that Spurs have stagnated?" And I said to him, "What do you mean by that? Qualify what you mean." And what he said to me is Argentinian as well. What he said to me, not that matters, is that, do you think that Spurs should have brought in a lot more players in the summer? Because the players that they have, Eriksen, Ali, Kane, have reached basically a level, and that's as good as it's going to get. In roundabout way, that's what he was talking about. What do you think?
I think he may have a point, but it's if you look at Chelsea, had a nucleus of the same team last year before, whenever it was, that they'd had the year before, and they went on a slump. They'd won the championship, then they went on a slump. They didn't even qualify for Europe, and then last year they came back again.
There were
So-
mitigating circumstances, though.
but I'm saying they had the same players, and
a
it
manager who
happens-
fell off a cliff.
It happens to teams that happens, okay? I think, yes, we're going through a bad patch now. I think we're going to come out the other side. I don't think Eriksen is playing to his full potential. I don't think Ali definitely is not playing to his full potential. The good thing we've got is that Son is on an amazing run at the moment. Everything he touches turning to gold now. Kane was injured, came back, that didn't help. The back four, or the back five even, being disrupted so much with Alderweireld's injury didn't help. I don't think the back five worked in most games, or that back five that we're playing, Dyer, Vertonghen, Sanchez, and the 2 fullbacks, I don't think that was working too well. So, in a way, yes, maybe we have stagnated, but it's not an ongoing symptom. I believe it's just we've had a bad patch. That's all.
That's what I think. I think it's just a blip.
We do need.
Hate that word, but I think that's what it is.
But I do believe, though, we do need to get new, fresh players in. Somebody to come in who's a magician in that midfield. Not many of them around,
No, they won't.
unless we got somebody like Modric back. Getting Gareth Bale back, I know people would
It's not
love
going to
it.
happen, though, is it?
Yeah, but even if it did happen, I don't think it's
He'd
not gonna help.
play 1 in 15 games for us, though.
Exactly. He would hardly
And be on
play.
300 grand a week. It's not going to happen. It won't happen.
Well, no,
not with
they
our
could do
current
it-
setup.
No, they could do it with the same way they did with what's his name,
Who?
we bought from City, the ex-Arsenal,
Adebayo.
where City paid his wages and we only paid a percentage of
Yeah,
it.
but City have a country back in them. Real Madrid. I suppose Real Madrid have a country back in them
Well,
too,
yeah,
don't they?
exactly. So that
What-
could happen, but I don't think it'd be right for Spurs.
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe that we need players that can come in when Eriksen isn't doing well, or even is doing well, when Dele, the same, isn't on form, that can come in, or even in training, give Eriksen and Dele something to think about.
Yeah, this is
because
what I'm saying
I
about
don't
dropping
think
Dele now.
But I don't think that they're looking around. And who's gonna replace me? You know who is here that's better than me? There's no one.
There's
no
no
one.
now for Ali. Now that Lamella's back, Ali's going to start working.
Completely different player.
Completely different, but he knows that he can play rather than him, and we just change the formation slightly.
Fair enough.
And what will happen is Son will move into, because Son is playing better than him. There's the other one.
He's playing better than anyone, I think.
I know, but he's replacing Ali. Ali was backing up Kane. Now Son is doing it. And even if you watched the game with Son and Llorente, Son was a better fit for Llorente than Ali was. They were like in sync, those two parts of that game. All right, I know it was Abuel, but still, I believe.
Sorry.
Yeah, I believe that Eriksen is the one that I don't know what's happening with Eriksen. He came off the back of that World Cup qualifier.
Got the hat trick, didn't he?
Everybody was saying he was going to be on fire, and he came back. I don't know if it drained him or what. He still does the workload. He's still got stats showing that he's probably running more miles than any other player in the team, and the opposition even. But it's just not working out for him.
It's not clicking, is it, right now?
It's not clicking. He's trying to do either too much. He's trying to check the balls over and it's being intercepted. He's trying the long balls, they're not working.
Mate, I just believe that we're going through this barren spell. Yeah, that's all it is. It really is all of that. And on Twitter, you see some real twits saying they want Poch out. And what has he done to our club? Where were these fans in 92 and 93 and 97 and Jerry Francis and Christian Gross? And where were they then? Can you imagine if Twitter was around in 97? Spurs fans probably would have broken it.
It's been since 1962, mate, it can be said.
Okay, I wasn't around in 62.
Yeah, I'm saying, but since that's the only other time that we've done anything astronomical. Winning an FA Cup, yeah, it's been great, and we had a great few years in that. Won a couple of European titles. Again, it wasn't the Champions League or the European Cup, it was the Cup Winners' Cup and so on. So we've not really got to the heights that we're at now
But we've finished
50 years.
We've finished fifth, third, and second.
Third was the highest one pre this era.
Okay, but aren't you happy as a Spurs fan?
Of course, I'm over the moon.
Since I've known you, which has been a long time, this is by far the best Spurs I've ever done.
Brilliant. Well, apart from the time with old Harry getting us into the Champions League and that wonderful game against Inter, Kane with Bale scoring his hat trick. I mean, that was a night to savour.
Yeah, it was.
Apart from that short spurt, which we thought maybe would carry on after that, but then things happened. I've not had times like this. All right, I remember the European win. I was there. I remember the FA Cup wins. I was there. And they are one-off moments. But a sustained thing like this, where we're actually sitting here talking about a team, and because we're now in, was it sixth now? I think we've gone down to sixth.
6, 7.
Burnley's overtook us yesterday. So down to sixth, and we're disappointed. We're like saying, it's not right, because we should be first or second. So when have we ever thought like that before?
Yeah.
And why are we sitting there criticising? We've still got the same nucleus of the team.
I don't think like that though. I can't think like that. I've seen the terrible times when it would, I wouldn't watch Match of the Day for 3 months.
Yeah.
There would be no point. Why would I watch?
Yeah.
Now I'm sort of watching it every week, which is great. So give me your predictions for tonight.
I told you.
What was it? 4-0?
3 or 4. I think it's a bit stuck.
Give me a proper prediction.
All right. 4-0. Actually, no, we've got to concede one. Let's make it 4-1. Don't know why we can't keep a clean sheet, for fuck's sake. Excuse my French. We'll beat that one.
Did you say it in French?
Yes.
Oh.
I said the French word.
Did you? Rabbit. Who?
The F word.
Oh, it's fine.
Anyhow.
After Koss's show, we've been banned on most of the podcast sites.
Have we really?
No.
All right. What was going on with Lloris? Why did he even...
I can tell you why.
Because he was bored?
No, I can tell you why. He had a bet on 5-1.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He had a tenner on 5-1. He goes, right, here we go. Finally, the ball's coming near me. What? Oh, crap. That's what happened.
Yeah, must have been.
So I think that we're going to win, and it will be 2-0. I do think we'll get a clean sheet, 2-0.
Okay.
Now, what I want to do is let's look at what the media is saying, and then we'll touch on the Man City game, and that'll be that.
Okay.
So, a lot of the media, especially Football at London, and a lot of them who run it, especially Alistair is a Spurs fan. He's saying that Barkley is a shoo-in to join us in January.
Oh, you're talking about media generally.
Media in general, yeah. So that's what he's saying. Would you like Barkley to join?
I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen enough of him.
Think about what we just spoke about in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, what I have seen of him, I do like him. I don't know if he's got an attitude issue, but Pochettino will probably get that out of him. Is he a future replacement for Dembele? Which I personally believe Winks is the future replacement for Dembele. The way he's been playing, even the style of play and everything.
But look at the physique. Look at the size of the two players. Dembele and Winks. And look at Barkley.
It doesn't matter what the size is. Look at Makaleli.
It does.
Look at Kante.
They're break-up players. They don't hold onto the ball for ages. They break up and circulate.
Modric.
No.
I mean,
these players, the players that you've just the players that you have just mentioned, including Modric and Winks, are circulation players. So they are they're the metronomic players who will take the ball, circulate it, put it forward, and then normally what happens, an assist occurs.
No, Winks doesn't do that. That's not all his game. Most of his passes are backward.
That's why he's got a 90+% pass completion rate.
Accuracy, yes.
He's still a kid, so let's let that
I'm
go.
saying, but when he does go forward and he can hold on to the ball, he can play the similar style to Dembele, where he doesn't lose the ball. He'll throw players off with a feint here or a feint there. He's learning, and if you look at his style of play, he's trying to emulate Dembele, and he probably learnt that from Scott Parker as well, because he did say Scott Parker was one of his heroes. Mm-hmm. So he's that kind of a player. Barkley, I think he's more of an Ali replacement or an Eriksen replacement, although I don't believe he's got the passing ability of Eriksen when Eriksen is on form, that is. But he has got great left foot on him, I know that much. But as I said, I don't really know enough about him to make a comment. Is he the right... I mean, it depends. He's not going to be a 50 million, is he?
He's got 6 months left on his contract.
Because they were saying 50 million, weren't they, in the summer?
And then they dropped it to 30 or 23 or what? Yeah. Something like that, wasn't
it? If it's in the 20s...
Levy will 30s. Never pay... I tell you what, this is me getting upset now. Yeah. If Levy forks out 20 million for Barkley with six months left on his contract and does not offer half of that money to Toby to stay, then I'm going to start a protest. I'm going to print pamphlets and I'm going down to White Hart Lane, because that's stupid business. Stupid.
So you think? Hold on, just to go back.
You wait 6 months and you get Barkley on a free. You do not pay. You do. There's no chance of us getting him for 20 million.
Buying him in the summer.
No, I'm talking about buying him now. This is what the media is saying. Football London is saying that we are going to probably get him in January.
I see.
So okay, we had bid. If you believe, whoever you believe, that it was like 20 million in at the end of August, and he had agreed, and Chelsea had also matched that, and he turned down Chelsea. And apparently we never actually went in for it. Apparently, the rumours are that while he was on his way to, so he didn't actually go to the medical. That's what a lot of people say. He didn't actually do that. Yeah. The rumours are that while he was on his way to Chelsea, someone whispered in his ear, "Spurs want you. Just wait until January."
Yeah,
that's the rumour. If we spend more than even 5 million on someone who has 6 months left,
so just
not even 6 months. When does the season finish?
Just hold on.
One minute. One sec. The transfer window opens when? Early January the 1st, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That means that we can get him. We're not a continental club, so we can't do a pre-contract. But then he has 5 months until the end of the season. And if we can't wait 5 months, what are we doing? I would much rather... if we get him for 5 million, which there's no way that's going to happen. That's why
we spent 30 on Sissoko.
Okay.
And look what we got. Are you seriously saying you wouldn't spend 20 million on Barkley after we spent 30 on Sissoko?
No,
regardless of how long his contract was and whatever it may be.
I
how
wouldn't.
Can you seriously
I
say
wouldn't, because we have to fix some of the issues
with
closer to
Sissoko.
home. No, closer. Forget Sissoko. Closer to home. If we're going to spend in excess of even 15 million, please, Levy, take 5 million out of that 15 you're going to give to Everton and give it to the best defender in Europe. Please do that so he can stay. You don't have to give him the wage. Give him. One minute, please. I just need to say this.
That should be regardless.
I need to get this off my chest. If he doesn't want to pay him the 150, 180 grand, whatever he wants, okay, because apparently he's on 50... Well, no, he's not apparently. He's on 50 grand a week. I saw his contract.
Well, that's a joke.
Yeah, it is a joke. Well, joke. I'm not on 50 grand a week.
No,
and I work longer hours. But he's on 50 grand a week. If you look at football leagues, he's on 50 grand a week. And he's asking for, I think, 150 or 160, something like that.
That's a bargaining. He wants
give him 100 grand a week,
exactly.
And give him an upfront signing on bonus of 3 to 5 million, or whatever it is. Get the guy to stay with us. He has a good 4 years left in him.
That's a separate issue.
No, it's not. Because every club has a budget. And if we're going to take money out of that budget to bring a player on that we can get for free in May, no. We have to talk about it.
Hold on a minute. We've signed everybody else up. Everybody else is signed now to long-term contracts with the wages.
No, Lamella isn't.
He's the only one, and he's not going to bother kicking up a fuss. Okay.
What do you think he'll stay?
Yes, Lamella will.
Tangent time, but yeah.
So
okay.
for this year, anyway, he's not going to go in January. Rose is the only one who may go. Okay, so we're going to save 30,000 there. If he's on 30,000,
60. He's on 60.
He's on 60. Rose is on more than.
Yeah, he's on 60 grand.
Right. Well, anyway, I'm not even going to go down that road. If we're going to sign Barkley, it's going to be like having two signings, which I think in January would be acceptable. We have a 20 million signing of Barkley plus the 5 million you said for Alvaro.
You would spend 20 million on Barkley?
Yes, I would if we need him. You're the one who's saying
he hasn't kicked a ball this season.
If Pochettino thinks he's going to give us something that we're lacking now, then why not? What's better out there that we could afford to buy?
Okay, I see your point. I do see it. But I would much rather tie up Toby first and then look at...
I'd say Toby should be a given. That's a given. I'm not even
But it doesn't seem to be a given, does it?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that should be a given. That's regardless of what's going to happen in the January transfer window. And another one, we discussed this last time on the podcast, the Turkish guy, Tosin.
Yeah.
I think it was Tosin.
Tosin.
Yeah. We better double check that, if that's how you pronounce it, because it's going to be very... I can hear the songs already coming out. But if we can get him, then I'd be more than happy. If we get Barkley and the Turkish striker, I would not want for more. I'd be saying that then we've got a team that's going to challenge City.
So let me tell you this problem. The latest quotes from the Belgian, this is Toby, claiming that he is yet to receive an offer from the club. What are we doing?
Listen, this is all paper talk. Nobody knows what's true, what's not true. Okay? He may. Can
I tell you what is true? This is his last big contract. Yes or no? He's 28. 28.
Yeah.
This is his last big contract.
No, not necessarily. He could go at the end of the season, go to Real, Barca.
No. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
The contract he signs now, whether it's with us or wherever, this is the last big one.
Yeah.
Unless at 32 or 33,
so he's going to try and
Chinese.
get the best contract he can get.
Of course, and I don't blame him. Of course, you're going to do that. Okay. What are we doing?
And if he's only on 40 grand, then that's
50. He's on 50 grand.
50 grand, then that's a joke compared to other players.
We signed Barkley, and I'll tell you why I'd like to sign Barkley. Not for 20 million, but let's just say we sign Barkley. I want to see what Poch can do with him.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying as well.
That's the only reason. I want to see what Poch can do with him. Yeah. And you know what a lot of the Everton
world beater.
What a lot of the Everton players have said. I can't remember which one. I've read this, and I can't remember which Everton player it was that two of them actually. Which ones were it? They said that they have never seen a player like Barkley in training, where he is world class, simply world class in training. Now,
I remember seeing him in England games, and he only played sort of cameo roles.
Was he all right?
But he looked brilliant. He looked brilliant.
If Potts can take the player that's in training and emulate that onto the pitch, I still don't want to pay 20 million for him, but 15, even 15 is too much money.
Listen, he's got potential. Even if we just buy him and sell him in 2 to 3 years' time,
You say potential. You know how old he is?
He's 23.
He's 24 next month. No, it's 24 this month.
Oh, well, there you go. Still,
So
it's
potential, really?
Still got 4 years before you can sell him on to somebody as a profit.
Really?
At 28, yes, we can sell him off at a profit. Okay. If we buy him for 20 million,
I think we're not 60, I don't think we're that club anymore. I don't think we're that club anymore. I don't want us to be that club anymore.
I know we're not, but
well, why are we building this stadium if we're going to be buying players to sell on for profit?
I hope we're not, but I'm saying he has got potential, and I believe
potential with us.
As I said, I haven't seen enough of him to be able to say to analyse his game, but from the glimpses I've seen of him, he's, I hate to mention it, he reminds me of Wiltshire.
Does he?
And Wiltshire,
what a horrible rat.
He's just a horrible person. That's the difference.
You know he's going out with a Cypriot girl, don't you?
Oh, is he? Yeah. Oh, poor bloke.
He's engaged actually to her.
Really? Oh, he's going to suffer like the rest of us. Anyhow.
I'm not. Thankfully, not married to a Cypriot anymore. I learnt my lesson.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that with everyone.
Yeah. Oops. Anyhow, I do believe he has got. He reminds me of Wiltshire, and Wiltshire was the kind of player who everybody was saying was going to be the. Let's go back to England. He was also with Arsenal. That the team can be built round them, but they went off. Wilshire's not. He's just got the mentality's all wrong with him. But if Barkley's got the talent, then you could build a team around him. I've only seen glimpses of him, but they were good glimpses. I could see that he could be a world-class player.
If you ever likened him to Gaza, would you say that? Barkley is not the rat.
No, I think Gaza was. He just had.
He was just special, wasn't he?
Yeah,
just a special talent.
Just, you can't. He's like a Pele, Maradona, and that kind of ilk of player. I'm not saying he's as good as them, but he was that ilk of player.
He was a genius.
You wouldn't. Yeah,
he was a genius.
You couldn't predict anything that he was
No.
do.
You couldn't.
He was just.
There were times when I remember it was when I started to watch Spurs. I was not very old, and you could see sometimes he was bored on the pitch.
Yeah.
And then he would just get the ball and go, just give me the ball. It's one of those
in
the playground where you pass it to the best player and they just do it all for you.
Exactly.
That's Gaza.
Exactly.
So let's move on to City.
Yeah.
5:30 UK time, 7:30 Cyprus time, Saturday.
Okay.
What's going to happen? We're playing at the Etihad.
I know.
And my in-laws are huge City fans. Not that matters.
I think Spurs are the only team.
We are their bogey team, aren't we?
Who could actually do them.
I've been saying it for ages.
It depends, how the attitude we go out there with. If we go out there with fear, we're not going to do it. If we just go out there with a bit of bravado and say, we're just as good as you are, we can do it, then we can do them. They're defensively, they're not that brilliant. Okay, Otamendi is a red card ready to happen. What's his name's crocked all the time, and I don't think Company keeps giving away free kicks because he's lost his pace and everything else.
Yeah.
Stones, I believe, is injured, so he's not likely to play, is he? Because he didn't play the last couple of games, I don't believe. The fullbacks, okay, they've got Walker, and I think what we'll do is we get behind him. We know how he plays. We know he loves to push up, and we know that he.
And he can't defend. We know that he can't defend.
Well, no, what I mean, we know that he relies on his pace to get back, and I think somebody like Son will use that to his advantage. He's got the intelligence to say, right, let you run off, chip the ball over to me, try and catch me. I've already given the ball away. I've already put the ball in the box. I've already cut inside you, and so on. And I think he'll outdo him. And it all depends on how we do defensively against their Fab Four, is it they call them, or
on their Fab 11.
Well, yeah, but I can't. I believe that we can beat them. I'm looking at a draw, realistically. but my heart is saying, yeah, I think we can do them 3-2
At the Etihad.
at the Etihad. It's been done before many a time.
Have you been there before?
No.
Okay, so my in-laws, they're huge, well, father-in-law, brother-in-law,
Yep.
season ticket holders. And looking at the time, match stops in 25 minutes. Won't be a long anecdote. And so whenever I go to back to the UK, I'm up in Manchester, and it's probably one of the worst atmospheres I've ever been in.
It's the old Commonwealth
Commonwealth,
Games
yeah.
Stadium, wasn't it? Yeah.
But it's a proper football stadium now, because what they actually were allowed to make modifications, so they dug the pitch right down. I mean, they nearly went bust because of it. They spent 200 million and they didn't have the money. That's why they were sold for £1 to Abu Dhabi. And so it's a proper football stadium. Okay, and one of the stands, I'll be honest with you, the last game that I was there, I was actually there this season.
Yeah.
It was the only time they've drawn. It was against Everton.
Okay.
Imagine how ironic. Useless Everton team, and they drew. Walker got sent off in that game as well. It was so funny.
Yes.
He did
That's
nothing.
why I could
He
see
did
him
nothing
doing
and
that.
got sent off.
I can see him doing.
He literally just
sent off
walked
this
back
game.
and got sent off.
He
Which
could
was
get
weird.
sent off in this game as well.
He probably could.
Most players who get play against their old teams try too hard.
But a lot of them are mates. And so when I was in the main stand, to be honest with you, the atmosphere was cracking. It was. But the rest of the stands, it's atrocious. To the point where Dave, my brother-in-law, even sort of, not apologised, but sort of said, I don't know why it's like this. It was diabolical.
A lot of stadiums are like that, though. You have
The
one
away
core-
fans... Oh, no.
core-
No, you don't understand. This was worse than Wembley. Okay? Have you seen Spurs at Wembley this season?
No, I
You
haven't, thank
Okay.
God. I refuse.
So
I remember I had the chance to go to
Yeah,
the West Brom
yeah.
game, and I was in the UK on the Sunday. On the Saturday, I was thinking, right, I could have been there at the stadium. Let's watch this game. And it was so dire. I was just thinking, thank God I didn't waste my money to do that. It was just appalling. So thankfully I didn't go. I nearly went to the Leicester game as well, because I was in the UK again then as well. And thankfully again, I just sat in my hotel room watching it on the laptop, and I was like, oh, this is dire. So I think it was because I went to the UK. That's what started the slump.
So when I was there, in the main stand, the one that they've actually increased the tier, they've made it a lot bigger. We had the Everton fans to our right, and they were really kicking up a fuss, making a lot of noise. And I know a lot of Spurs fans that have been to the Etihad when we've played them, and they've said the same thing, that all you can hear is us. You can, in most away games, the Spurs fans are
Spurs fans are
phenomenal.
amazing, yeah.
Away Spurs fans are they're the what's the word?
The earth.
They're not salt of the earth.
What?
They're the building blocks of our supporters.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, they are. They're the ones that really get things going, because no matter what, they are singing.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that we're going to probably get a 2-2 draw.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that they're going to probably be all over us, and then we'll come back and make it to 2-2.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be able to watch the game.
Why is that?
Because I'm going to Dima's birthday party.
Who?
Just a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in Limassol. And so
You've got a mobile, haven't you?
Yeah.
Download.
Can we get the IPTV on my... You can't you?
You can get the IPTV, or there's other ways of doing it as well. I told you.
Alright.
It's easy.
What are you mouthing?
Mopdro. I don't want to advertise.
Oh, right, okay. Mopdro, everyone. Stamadis owns it.
Mobdro.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think we're going to get a 2-2 draw. Mm-hmm. And we might have a problem if Vertonghen gets a booking, because that means that we have Dyer in defence.
Yep.
And then who else? Foyth.
We've already discussed this.
Who are we going to have in defence against City?
I could see him putting Dembele there. He's done it before.
Has he?
Dembele's played centre half once.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, vaguely something.
There was. I can't remember.
In his first season, I think it was.
I can't remember now, but I remember he played centre half once. Or Sissoko. There you go.
Sissoko.
Oh, I bet you he'll be a revelation.
Well, I suppose every second touch of Sissoko is a tackle. So
well, that's exactly
you put him in defence. He'll be. That's where the 30 million's gone.
Maybe.
Okay,
he may surprise us.
He's the secret weapon. Sissoko in defence.
Defender that we've not.
God, can you
We haven't
imagine
seen
him
it.
in defence?
He could be amazing.
I wouldn't want
We
to watch
don't
the
know.
game. No, I'd be glad. I wouldn't want to watch Mobo. What's it called? Modo, whatever. Mobdro. Yeah, forget it. Yeah, like,
You just don't know, mate. Let's give him a chance. I think we should let him play there against City as well. It'll totally throw the City players having him up against them and be like, what? Are you serious? Are you taking the mick? You got this player up against me? And then he'll surprise us all.
well, we've been going for 55 minutes.
Wow.
So, when are we next on? Because this is a bi-monthly podcast,
Yeah.
so we're on every 2 weeks apparently.
So
Although
we'll be
we
doing
never
it
get the
in
memo.
2 weeks' time.
So in 2 weeks, we're back then. We'll probably be covering the Southampton game, which is on the 26th, Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only game that we have at Christmas.
That's right. Yes.
How weird is that?
I know.
The only game at Christmas.
So we've got the 26th.
Well, basically, I'll tell you what, we've got
Okay.
City coming up on the 16th. Then we've got Burnley at Turf Moor. I'm not looking forward to that.
Okay.
That's the next Saturday. Again, evening kickoff.
Okay, so that's 23rd.
Then that's the 23rd. 26th, Boxing Day, we've got Southampton.
Yeah, and then,
Then we've got Swansea on the 2nd of January.
That's about right.
I think we'll win.
That's about right. That's how fixtures normally go.
No, we normally have 2 or 3 around about that time, don't we?
Yeah, it's 23rd, 26th, plus the 2nd of January. You only get 3 games over the Christmas period, over the actual Christmas period.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Why does it feel weird to me?
I have no idea.
Alright. So, come on, you Spurs. That's it.
Yeah, come on,
And
boys.
we'll see you in, well,
2 weeks'
hopefully.
time, hopefully.
2 weeks' time, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. And this is
Cheers.
sponsored by Hula Hoops. Not really, but Hula Hoops, if you do want to sponsor us, we love your crisps.
And London Pride.
London Pride, yeah, I'm not drinking it, you are.
Yeah.
Hula Hoops.
Lovely hula hoops.